Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. Happy New Year, happy belated Valentine's Day, happy belated birthday if you had one. I feel like I haven't posted in like a year, so we're gonna get right into this. I was going to do a 14 days of Valentine's Day nail sets, but honestly, life, okay? So we're just gonna get right into this video. So we're using my KNS size, I think it was either 12 or 14 nail brush, the 2XL guided nail tips, and we're gonna use the color Bad Enough. I'm gonna be using the Beetles nail glue to glue these on. And honestly, I have my peel off base coat. If you want a video on that, I can show you how to do that. Honestly, I just use Cuticle Oil and the BrattyNailCo peel off base coat, then another layer of cuticle oil, then another layer of that base coat, and then I just cure it in my nail lamp for 60 seconds. Then I just use gel glue to glue on my nails. And this is what it looks like. And I honestly love the guided nail tips because it just makes it so easy to just cut your nails. You can use nail scissors, you can use actual nail cutters, and it just leaves a perfect clean cut. In this one, I'm using the nail scissors just because that's what I had on hand. But honestly, I love these nail tips. I highly recommend them if you're looking for good quality nail tips. I would definitely recommend these 2XL guided nail tips by KNS, and you can use my code Maryelin20. I will leave that somewhere on the screen, and you can save yourself, I think it's 15 or 20% off, I'm not sure, but yeah. And then we're just gonna go ahead. I'm using my Macart grape scented monomer for this. When I'm doing my own nails, I try to like use the scented monomers just because the smell is kind of overpowering, but you can use any monomer. I really think that the KNS powders are universal. I use it with young nails, Kiara Sky, so each monomer I don't really have a problem with it. But we're just gonna go ahead and get right into this. This was a Valentine's Day nail set, so I'm not sure if you guys want to see all of the nail sets that I did. I'll probably just post them all on Instagram and just go into like the spring nail designs because I'm really excited for those as well. But this is the color Bad Enough, and honestly, this is just the application portion, so I'm just gonna sit back and let you guys enjoy.
Sometimes just to wake up the world, I've got to get in, and then something's gotta hit it right on the nose. So if you really get exactly what I meant by my soul, I could love you forever. Would you stay with me tonight? Will you love me forever? 'Cause this just feels so right. Deep ends down into the depths, doesn't have to be that hard. I was just trying to feel it then. No one gets to choose their love. So if it's just for tonight, something's gotta hit it right on the nose. So if you really get exactly what I meant by my soul, I could love you forever. Would you stay with me tonight? Will you love me forever? 'Cause this just feels so right.
And I will say for this design, I left most of the acrylic and everything, like the application in it, only because I'm not really sure why. I think it was just a really long process, but each nail was kind of different in its own way. At least the ring finger was. I believe the other 4 fingers were just like me adding the bad enough. But for this one, for my ring finger, I'm doing a ombre, and I'm using these red heart decals, and I am using the DNT clear, which I got off Amazon. And I will say that it's currently one of my favorite clears. It is literally very, very, very clear. You don't have to undercoat the bottom part, so I really do enjoy that clear. I do enjoy a lot of the DNT products, and they're very affordable, I will say. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add some of that clear so I can go ahead and stick those heart decals, sorry. And if there's like a good trick that anybody has without having to use like the saran wrap or like the plastic wrap to actually press them down, only because I feel like that leaves, like, it makes it look so messy. I don't know if it's just me, and I feel like if I just pile it on top of the clear, it doesn't stick properly. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but if anybody has any good tricks, because I do want to do something like this with like some spring nails with maybe some flowers. So if anybody has like a really good trick without having to use much saran wrap and paper and just like sticking it down into the acrylic, please let me know in the comments, because I need a better, I need a better trick to figure out how to get my decals to stick down. I didn't have a lot of problems with them. I just don't like to pile a bunch of acrylic on it and then having to file it, and then sometimes it doesn't even cover the whole design or the whole decal. So I'm just kind of filing a little bit of the decal off as well.
That's how it goes, so I hope you understand. My vision in the sand. This is your fate, push away, push away. I'm scared, baby, stay. Sometimes you can tell, don't overthink it. If you're ready, this is your fate. Push away, I'm scared, baby, stay.
And now that that is done, we're just going to go ahead and let this dry off, and then we're going to go ahead and file our nails. So I'm using my 2Q 8100 nail file, and I'm also using my Agile Beauty dust collector. If you do not have a dust collector, I highly recommend investing in one. I've been using mine a lot more lately. Like, protect your lungs, okay? When you are filing nails, acrylic, polygel, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that you are having something to kind of make sure that you're not inhaling all of that dust, because it will cause some health issues later on in the long run. So I'm just going to go ahead and file up my nails. So I'm filing the edges and over my nail with the 80/80 slash with the 8100 side. So I kind of use the 80 side to crispen up the nails, and I kind of go over with the 100 side and kind of just go over the nail itself. And then later on I go in with my e-file and I remove all of those scratches. If you want, you can go in with a buffer. You don't have to. The drill bit that I use usually just removes all of those scratches and I don't have to really worry about them afterwards.
So I can fill the cup. Tonight I need you like the air I breathe. It doesn't feel bad. That's how it goes. So I hope you understand. My vision in the sand. Sometimes you can tell, don't overthink it. If you're ready, it's a short thing. Push away, push away. I'm scared, baby, stay. Sometimes you can tell, don't overthink it. If you're ready, it's a short thing. Push away. I'm scared, baby, stay. Sometimes just a week of the world. I've got to get in and then something's gotta hit it right on the nose. So if you really get exactly what I meant by my soul, I can love you forever. Would you stay with me tonight? Will you love me forever? 'Cause this just feels so right. Deep down into the depths, doesn't have to be that hard. I was just trying to feel it then. No one gets to choose their love. So if it's just for tonight, will you hold my hand? Empty some so I can fill the cup. Tonight I need you like the air I breathe. It doesn't feel bad. That's how it goes. So I hope you understand. My vision in the sand. Sometimes you can tell, don't overthink it. If you're ready, it's a short thing. Push away, push away. I'm scared, baby, stay. Sometimes you can tell, don't overthink it. If you're ready, it's a short thing. Push away. I'm scared, baby, stay.
And I did, like I say, leave most of the parts in this video, like the filing, the acrylic application. So let me know what you guys enjoy seeing. I don't know about you guys. I like watching like the filing process, but that's just me. But I also like watching the acrylic application. So this video is a bit on the longer side, about 30 minutes, which I didn't realize it after I was editing, but I try to leave like all the important bits, but I also try to cut out and speed up parts that were not as important. But this is just really the filing process, and then I'm going to go in, like I said, with my e-file and just kind of go over the nail, remove those scratches from the nail file, and I'm also going to go ahead and clean up that cuticle and seal that cuticle in as well.
So I can fill the cup. Tonight I need you like the air I breathe. It doesn't feel bad. That's how it goes. So I hope you understand. My vision in the sand. Don't overthink it. If you're ready, it's a sure thing. Push away, push away. I'm scared, baby, it's tears. Sometimes you can tell. Don't overthink it. If you're ready, it's a sure thing. Push away. I'm scared, baby, it's tears.
And here's the nails looking filed, and this bit I am using is also from Too Cute. I believe it is a medium carbide bit, if I'm not mistaken, or a cylinder bit. And if you want, you can use my code on the Too Cute website, just Maryelin, and I will leave that again somewhere in the screen. I love their drill bits, I will say. I think it leaves a nice clean look after you are filing. You will see that when I'm going over my nail, it just removes all of those scratches, which again prevents you from having to buff at the end. That choice is optional. I don't usually do it, at least now, but if you want to, you can. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really just depends.
Cause this just feels so right. Deep down into the depths. Doesn't have to be that hard. I was just trying to feel it then. No one gets to choose their love. So if it's just for tonight, will you hold my hand? Empty some so I can fill the cup. Tonight I need you like the air I breathe. It doesn't feel bad. That's how it goes. So I hope you understand. My vision in the sand. Don't overthink it. If you're ready, it's a sure thing. Push away, push away.
So now after all of that is done, we're gonna go ahead and throw the dust collector, and look at all that dust, all of that did not go into my lungs. And I don't know about you guys, I do not reuse my files, but that is just me. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my nails with some alcohol, and then we're gonna go ahead and get right into this design. So BrattyNailCo released a Kiss and Tell gel collection, and I do have a swatch of that on my Instagram. So we're going to use the whiteout, and then we're going to use First Kiss, and we also are going to use the color Cherry Crush. I used most of the colors that come in this gel kit or gel collection. So if you guys are interested, I would definitely recommend the BrattyNailCo colors. I love their gel polishes. You can use my code Maryelin. I think you save 10% off if I am not mistaken, but honestly I highly recommend their gel polishes. They also have some flexi bases, which is the equivalent to like rubber base, and I've slowly been getting into rubber base. I really have been enjoying it when I am using when I'm just doing like my natural nails and I'm just trying to make sure that they last longer. A trick that people have been saying is if you use rubber base after you prime your nails, it kind of helps with retention. And I did do that on my toes, I won't lie, because I do acrylic on my toes, and I will say it definitely helped my toes last a lot longer, which I was very happy about. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do the XO on this nail on my ring finger with the hearts. And then honestly, the rest, I did use the blooming gel from BrattyNailCo. And again, you can use my code Maryelin to save on the BrattyNailCo website. And I kind of did some blooming gel colors. So I'm going to go ahead and take the colors that I'm going to use. I'm going to put them on my little dish here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and get into the blooming gel design, which for me is pretty simple. All you have to do is just put some blooming gel on it and then just kind of let it do its thing. So you do it without curing. You just go ahead and put the colors on the palette. And then I just take a brush, a regular like cleanup brush, and I just kind of go over it with the nails. But I also did some French tips, and I will say I love the BrattyNailCo white. I still have my old one from when it was still BB&S. So I'm gonna make sure I use that obviously before I go ahead and get into my new one. But I love their white. I feel like with one coat you are good to go. Same thing with their black. So again, if you're looking for a good white and black gel polish, I highly recommend the BrattyNailCo ones.
Sometimes just too weak of the world. I've got to get in and then something's gotta hit it right on the nose. So if you really get exactly what I meant by my soul, I can love you forever. Would you stay with me tonight? Will you love me forever? 'Cause this just feels so right. Deep is down into the depths. Doesn't have to be that hard. I was just trying to feel it then. No one gets to choose their love. So if it's just for tonight, will you hold my hand? Empty some so I can fill the cup. Tonight I need you like the air I breathe. It doesn't feel bad. That's how it goes. Well, I hope you understand. My vision in the sand. Don't overthink it. If you're ready, this is your fate. Push away, push away. I'm scared, baby, stay. Sometimes you can tell. Don't overthink it. If you're ready, this is your fate. Push away. I'm scared, baby, stay. Sometimes just too weak of the world. I've got to get in and then something's gotta hit it right on the nose. So if you really get exactly what I meant by my soul, I can love you forever. Would you stay with me tonight? Will you love me forever?
And so after that blooming gel, we are going in with Pink Receipts and Fatal Attraction, and these are both reflective gels. But honestly, I did go ahead and I did a marble with that as well. And I wasn't sure what to do on my thumb because honestly I totally forgot about my thumbnail. I was basically halfway done. Well, I was basically done with the nails, and then I realized, oh no, what am I going to do on the thumb? So I just kind of just did the same thing, just a, what's it called? A marble nail with, I think, these colors and the white. But I also did add these little hearts on my pointer finger on the French tip nail. I thought it made the nails look really cute, and I did use the Fatal Attraction and the pink receipts for that as well.
Sometimes just too weak of the world. I've got to get in and then something's gotta hit it right on the nose. So if you really get exactly what I meant by my soul, I could love you forever. Would you stay with me tonight? Will you love me forever? 'Cause this just feels so right. Deep down into the depths, doesn't have to be that hard. I was just trying to feel it.
And so after that, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my top coat. And this is, again, I still have a bunch of my BBNS gels, so I'm gonna go ahead and use those because we're not just gonna go ahead and forget about them. So I went ahead and used the Glossy Top Coat. Now it is considered the just Glossy Top Coat on the BrattyNailCo website, or you can also use a Boss Gloss. And these are now in 18 millimeters, so they are a little bit bigger, and I really appreciate that because if you're like me and you use your top coat often, you want to make sure that you have a good amount. So I think for the price, it is definitely worth it. It's only like $18 for 18 millimeters, so that's like $1 a millimeter, which I think is a great deal. And again, you can always use my code and it will save you some extra dollars. And honestly, we're just gonna go ahead and top coat these, cure these in my nail lamp for a minute, and then that was it. So thank you guys for watching. If you watched this far, let me know what you guys thought about this nail design. I am so happy to be creating content again. I have so many ideas and I cannot wait to post. I've really missed making videos. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!